Alright guys, welcome to another Autronics video. In this video we're working on this PlayStation 5 controller here. So this one's been sent in to us by a customer, and we have a label here stating that right joystick drift, so I'm presuming it's this one here. Now before we do anything we must confirm that that's actually the fault with this controller and nothing else. And what I do is I use the software gamepad tester to do this, and the way you do this is if you grab your USB-C cable, plug it to your computer, and then you plug it onto your controller here. And what this does is the PlayStation controller gets recognized by this gamepad tester, and what it does is it actually shows you what's actually wrong with the controller, and you can go through a series of tests on this website, and it's quite cool because you can determine the fault straight away. So you can see that the right joystick, which I'm moving around, is not centered, so there's our fault there. And this one here is okay, it's not too bad, so mainly it's this one here. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and test all of our buttons. Test this one here, this top right, top left, R2, R1, L2, L1, and then the directional pad. So we know all of our other buttons are working except for this one here. So bear with me, I'll put you up onto the stand and we'll take this controller apart and show you how we can replace that. So I have two joysticks here that we can use to replace the one in here, and then we can go from there. So bear with me while I position you on the stand. Okay, there we are. So we've got you up on the stand. So let's remove the stick out of the way, get these little joysticks out of the way, and so let's go ahead with us deassembling this one here. It's very straightforward. If you don't want to watch this process, you can watch other videos that detail on how to take these out. So just pry up under here. Be very gentle with these plastics. They are quite sensitive and they can break quite easily. There is 2 screws under here and there is 2 screws under here. So we'll start off by removing this. Be very gentle. I'm just using a plastic pry tool like this, and you can work your way very gently inside, and then from here just push and lift so that comes off like that, and then we'll work our way here. So pry up under here, push, comes off, and then towards here. There we go. Alright, so those are out. Let's get that out of the way, and let's grab a screwdriver to take this off. So there's a screw under here, that one there. Let's position that here, and then there's one more on the L1 and L2 triggers, and then obviously the 2 down here. Now when you're removing the next stage of this, there is a microphone cable here, and that can be easily missed and easily torn if you're not careful. And just take your time when you're doing that. So what I tend to do is I'll just grab my tweezers and I just lift up just ever so lightly on this bit here, ensuring that it's not tangled, and then also I try and untangle this bit here that is holding that thing together, and then from this side just push. What's holding it together are these tabs here, and at the front as well. So just like that, and then just like that, and then you push up onto that, and then that comes off. So that's out, and then obviously the battery, and we'll disconnect the battery. And you just take your time when you're doing this. There is a screw right here, undo that. Okay, let's get that to a separate place, and then so that ribbon cable there attaches onto this bit right here. So push up onto that, okay, and then onto this here. Be very gentle, don't push, pry and be rough with it, you are going to break it. And then this bit here should just lift up, and then here I just use this down here and then wiggle, it comes off. Same thing on this side. Wiggle. Get this underneath. Under here. Wiggle. And that comes off. You can pull on these tabs, but I just prefer this method here. So before we go further, I need to mark that it was this side here. So let me grab a marker, which is just that one there, and then we'll flip it and we know it's this one right here. Okay, that being marked, we do need to take off this ribbon cable here, and let's just use a pair of pliers to do that. Just wiggle it back slightly, don't pull it too hard, you're going to rip it off and then you're going to be in trouble. And then with these cables here, take a photo of which side the motor wires go. So black is obviously on top, so what I tend to do is I'll put a mark over here and over here, and then I know that that's where it goes. Grab your soldering iron. The soldering iron that I'm using is a JVC one. I had to upgrade because my other one was crapping out and it wasn't giving me as good heat on the soldering tip as I wanted. So I grabbed a JVC. I'll put a link in the description of which one I'm using, and then we can go from there. Let me grab the soldering iron, grab my tweezers. I'll zoom you guys in a tad so you can see, and then I grab the wire just ever so lightly on that, and then same thing on here. Okay, so those two are off, and then same thing on this side here. We'll just change hands. Okay, so we go grab this, done. A 60-watt soldering iron for this type of work will be fine, and you can do them. Those that are wondering that do we do mail-ins, do we repair controllers outside of the country? Yes, we do. Yes, we do have mail-in systems. It's all on our website. If you want to reach out about sending your device in for us to repair, yes, we can do that for you. Then we go from there. So here we go, that's out. All right, and that's the one we need. So now I will grab my holder to hold this in whilst I can take that out, and my holder looks like this. I'm sure you guys have seen all of this before in the PS4 repairs that I did previously, and all of these repairs aren't hard. They're not difficult. It is doable. I mean, heck, I can do it. So that means that anybody else can do it. All right, so let's go. So here we are. We need to ensure that this is well held in there. It's not going to go anywhere. That's good. All right, and zoom you in. So at this point, what I do is I apply a bit of solder and flux to the board. Ensure that I mix my unleaded with the leaded stuff. I use this as my solder from JCar, and I use this as my soldering flux, Amtech NC559.ACM. Okay, let's apply a bit of solder to, a bit of flux to these joints here. Now I'll show you how I take these off. Okay, so we'll get that all sorted in there, and what I will do is I'll show you a method to do it with solder braid. Okay, so I'm pretty sure a lot of us won't have the heat gun and that sort of principle, so I'll just put a bit of water for my sponge here, the soldering iron. Okay, and then let's add a bit of solder to these points here. And be careful of that plastic connector that's on the side there. Actually, I might actually put a bit of plastic on that Don't worry about this. This is the motor connections. Okay, so that being put on, let's start in this corner here. Let's place that there and let it suck that up, which it did. Let's do this one. Okay, you see how it's cleared the gap there. Okay, let's get this access off. And again, this one here. And when you're using solder braid, press and hold onto there. Sorry about that. I forgot my camera stopped recording. So we'll go back to where we were. And we will just see over here. And we are still using the solder braid. So the one that I'm using is here. Again, I'll put a link in the description. You can get this one. You don't have to get this one. You can get something similar, but this one works quite well for me. I like it. Again, a rule of thumb, whenever you're using solder braid, don't yank on this. Hold on till it sucks it up and then move. So what happens is a lot of times I see pad rips come in for repair and I'm like, oh, what happened here? And then I automatically know that it's been left like that and then someone's yanked on the braid itself. So just put the tip over the bit that you want to suck up with this solder braid, and some of them can be a little bit stubborn, like this one here. Okay, we'll come back to that one, and I'll apply a bit more flux to this board. Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. We'll do these ones. Sometimes I don't prefer to use solder braid only because of the smoke that it produces, as well as the fumes that it sends off. And for some reason my fume extractor is not entirely working that well today for some odd reason. We'll go back here, do this one. I try and use the hot air station as much as possible because it's a lot more easier, more convenient, and a lot more quicker than this. But that's not to say that it can't be done with a solder braid. A lot of people don't have the luxury of a hot air station, so the hot air station is a lot quicker. Let's go here. Okay, here. Okay, I'm just going to turn this around and position it here, just so I'm not in the way of that connector that's there. I'll apply a bit more solder to these posts here. A bit more flux. And then let's go in with the solder braid again. Okay, that one's good. So this takes a little bit longer than what I would like it to, but that's alright. It shows you guys that it is doable. Okay, and then we just have one more left. I'll do this, bit more solder in there. Here we go. Okay, here we are. Okay, and then get this cap off, and you can just go over the top of these. Here we go. So this way. So there you are. The joystick's off. We've got nice clean pads there. Now before going further from here, I would like to clean that area up with some isopropyl. So I ended up putting this little tape thing here so I could get that off. So just to clean. Then obviously on the other side as well. Alright, so that's the old one we had. We're going to replace it with this one. Alright, let's position this up, straighten out these pins first. There we go. It's fine. And let's position that. That. And then just press down. It should clip in just like that. And what I do now, apply a bit of flux to these areas. Like that. What's happened to this? Seems to have become stuck. Okay, there we go. Alright, so that's good. And now come in with the soldering iron again. And I just tack one corner, so I just do this corner first, okay, like that, and then I hold it there and I push up from the bottom. You see how it just sat into its place, and then I do another corner here, okay, and then leave it. Then I go ahead and do the rest of these. So I start from one spot and then I'll work my way around like that. Make sure you get the complete solder in its hole. And this one here, same thing here. You just keep working your way around so you don't miss anything. Okay. Alright, that's done. Now, IPA, clean, give it a clean, grab a tissue, just clean from the top. There we go. It's done. Good. Now let's put this back into the board. Get rid of that. And let's give that a try. I'm just trying to find where that bit went. And I do tend to clean this connector here. So I do clean that before assembly. There it is. So this sits like that over there. It's like this. Okay. Put this cap back on. Okay. And I'm just going to put it on here just so I can test it. And I hope there is enough battery life on my camera to take us to that point. This cable needs to come out top like that. Just be gentle with it, don't probe too much. If it's not going in, find out what's holding it back, like that. Alright, let's get this ribbon cable back in. There you go. And then just that screw in the battery holder. I know I haven't put the wires back in. I will do that. I just want to test it, see if we've fixed it or not. If we haven't, then we'll come back to it. The screw wants to stick to my gloves. There we go. Alright, let's get the battery in. Alright, let's give that a try. Get the USB cable. Plug that up. Go back to our here we go. And there we are. Yay! We fixed it. And then same thing with this side. Okay. So there we go. You can see that. Oops. You can see the controller in my hand. And there. We'll go do that. Press a couple of these buttons. Alright, good guys. So let me reassemble this. It's just an exact reverse process of putting everything together. And then we are done with this. And we have fixed this controller. We'll package it up, put it all together, send it back to the customer. And yes, we do mail-ins. If you are interested in sending your device in to us for fixing, then you can do that most definitely. On our website there is a mail-in form, or just drop us an email, what you have, what device you have, and we will direct you on how to send that device to us with the return shipping. That will be ideal. And then we can quote you on how much it's going to be to fix it. We are based in Australia now, and we also have a location, another branch in New Zealand. So if you are interested in sending most of it to Australia, then you can most definitely. Alright guys, I hope this video has helped somebody out there, and thank you for watching.